Is it 26?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Free Lady. I'm your host, Brittany McQuethy. We're on episode 26 with Nikisha. I said that right?
Yeah.
Right. And so I always do that. Like I know I say it right, and then I get on here and I'm like,
What's the real name?
So we have Nikisha on. She is like such a beautiful soul, you guys. I'm so excited. This is going to be a shorter episode today, but we're going to impact you with all the things of her story. And we're here to help free your mind. That is our main goal for you. We're going to start off with one thing we're grateful for because of time. So the one thing I'm grateful for today is I had a mental shift today because I've been struggling. I really have. That full moon last week, girl.
Oh, that was a powerful moon.
I have never felt that way in my life. Plus the other struggles that I've been dealing with through, I lost my aunt and just, really wanting to be there for my family and just all the things.
Yeah.
Life. So I'm really glad that I had this mental shift today. And I have to thank my boyfriend for that because he really got me out of that today because we've, been struggling with me with this shift. I'm just like, where am I? And
Yeah.
here, I'm back.
What was the shift that you had though?
I just I wasn't feeling like myself. I wasn't connected to the things I was doing just because of the slowness of this holiday is different than the 19 years I've ever done in hair.
Okay.
So I'm feeling that energy. I'm feeling the energy of others with struggling with the same things. And I'm like, how can I make this better? How can I make my clients feel better? So, I blasted with, emails and texting for a holiday special to make my clients feel good. And they've been coming in and they've been making me feel good. And then, with having a long distance relationship and such, like you just feel sometimes you just feel really disconnected. And then that whole moon, I was just like, I was just like,
Wait a second.
you know what I mean? And so like today's like the kind of the first day I have felt like myself really this month. So and that's okay. We all go through those things. I'm not freaking perfect, you guys, but I'm here to help you and we help each other. So we're a family. Nikisha, what are you thankful for today?
Today, I'm grateful for the ability to step into being seen. This is my fourth podcast to be featured on, and I'm actually starting my own podcast. So being able to step into that new me and actually allow myself to step into her and be seen as her, it's really cool. And I've made the greatest connections in the last literally 72 hours,
Yes.
mind-blowing connections.
Yes. Yes. I love that. And I love that you feel that power within you. That is so beautiful. And it's a beautiful thing because you have a gift of through your words and what you do and who you are. And I'm telling you the connections you make through your podcast. And I have a circle of friends that I don't even live around because of this.
Yeah. Well, and it creates community. And that's what I want to be is soulfully naked in a community of women and men who actually want to honor their divine.
Yes.
So it's really cool.
Absolutely. And, just a little side note, you guys, when you're growing, okay, everyone is down here. And when you're growing, it goes like this. And you have to be okay with letting go of the circle. You can always love them. You can always be friends with them. But if you want to grow, you got to have your friends growing with you and following.
Yeah. And there are people in your life that are going to be, so say you're a rocket, right? And you're going up and there's people, rockets have boosters. There's people that help you boost and then they fall off. And we get to be okay with that because if you're using your jet fuel, if you're using those things that brought you all the way to the bottom and you use them to empower you, your fuel is going to release those rocket boosters, really.
Right.
It's awesome, but it's also a lonely journey.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Sorry.
You're going to boost other people up too,
Yeah. And I think that's the beautiful thing about being vulnerable and being in this space of allowing ourselves to be seen and be able to use our voice to be our light, to be our encouragement. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's insanity.
Who did you used to be and who have you become today to become a free woman?
I love that question. So I used to be a negative person who thought everybody was abused by their parents. Everybody had a drug addict as a parent. I honestly thought that every single person in their life got abused. So not only was I hurt, I also hurt people, right? So hurt people hurt people. And I'm not saying that that's for everybody, but that's what I used to embody. And to transition into who I am now, I had to release all of my belief systems. I had to know that everything I was taught was nothing but somebody else's hurt and pain getting passed on to me. And
Yeah.
there was actually a really substantial time in my life. I was 13 years old and I had been hurt the worst that I had ever been hurt. My virginity was taken from me. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this is not normal. And what I live is not normal. And I'm going to seek elsewhere. Did that stop me at 13? Hell no. I made so many mistakes till I was 20. I was an addict till I was 20. And then that's where I really transitioned into who I want to be and who I desire to be, which is who I am now, creating change in communities and really holding sacred spaces and safe spaces for those to release their emotional armor and step into the gratitude and the light that they are, not hold on to that backpack of rocks and of darkness.
Right. And what do you feel like at what age that you knew that you had to reprogram your mind and what you knew in the past?
So I was 20 years old. I was, damn. My mom had died in October, and this was my first Thanksgiving away from my family, anybody in my family. I had just gotten married to my first husband, and we were driving up to Idaho, and I was losing my shit because every single family party I'd ever been to, I had been abused. There was a fight, there was a brawl. Like, I thought everybody had fights at their family party. So I remember asking my husband, I remember saying, who's going to have my back if your sisters try to brawl out? And he's like, I promise you, nobody will brawl out with you. I promise you. And I was like, okay, but who's going to have my back? Do you have my back? And he's like, yeah. And we went through the whole Thanksgiving dinner, no argument, no fight, no nothing. Like, there was no animosity. There was no anger. It was like so peaceful. And it took me it was in Idaho, and we were driving home, and it took me 2 hours to even say a word. And he goes, so
Wow.
are we going to talk? And I was like, whatever that is, however you guys live your life, I aspire to be. There will never be abuse in my life again. That I will never get hit by a man or anybody ever again. I will never hit anybody ever again.
Mhm.
And it changed literally everything about me. And then again, when I was pregnant with my son, I was about 16 weeks pregnant, walked into a Jiffy Lube, super stoked about, life. I don't know, really. I was just like excited. And then this guy was like, oh, do you want to go out for a drink or something? Like, asked me out. And I was like, actually, I'm 16 weeks pregnant. And he goes, oh, well, just remember that everything you think, say, do, and feel gets transferred to that baby through that placenta. And I was like, oh my gosh, my healing will heal this baby. Okay, I get to choose differently. And literally, that's when my self progression started. I had 3 years of sobriety or 5 years of sobriety before my son was born, and 3 years of self discovery. But yeah, that was it. That
Wow.
was it. And then my son was born on my 5-year sobriety date. So yeah,
So
right.
you don't believe in God or something bigger than you, like, wow.
Like, come to me because I will help you. I will let you see that there's divine guidance everywhere in life.
Absolutely. And what were like the first, like when you don't know anything how to like reprogram your mind, what are the top 5 things that you started to do when you didn't know? And obviously you know what to do now and to help others, but like when you're starting your journey through that, what did you do? What were the things that you did?
So the first thing that I did was, I had been in therapy my whole life, but like, I had never physically moved energy in my body, right? And so I took the accountability. I was 206 pounds, miserable, addicted to cocaine, addicted to, well, I don't want to say I was addicted to cocaine then, because I was a year sober when
Right.
I started my personal development, right?
Right.
And so when I started that, I transitioned into me keeping promises to myself. The first
Yeah.
promise I kept to myself was I was going to drink a gallon of water a day.
Mhm.
And then from a gallon of water a day, I was going to transition to like wiping out Dr. Pepper. I was super addicted to Dr. Pepper. And
Right.
so then it was the water, right? So then I started flushing water through my system, moving my body, flushing water through my system. That's where I started really realizing that your nutrition is so much with like how you want to be healthy. Your mental health is going to come from your gut health, right? And
Yeah.
so I started really transitioning into what I was digesting. And from there, it went to the information I was digesting, the things that I was filling my brain with. I remember searching up motivational videos. And this was like back in 2014. Like Tony Robbins wasn't really big. Nobody was really big. Like there weren't like what we have now was not what it was then. And
Right.
I just searched motivational videos, meditations, stuff like that, because I was just so intrigued with how my mind would transition. Like I remember one day I was like running and I felt like every part of my body jiggle. And I was like, jiggle is good because it means I'm losing fat. And that, instead of calling myself fat, was like the first belief I changed about myself. And I was like, holy shit.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And so it was like transitioning those thoughts to new beliefs. So really taking that self inquiry. So those were the 5 steps I did, like the very first.
That's amazing. And that's like super, super hard because we naturally say these things. Like I was
Yeah.
talking to Nick last week and I was talking to him how I used to not be a good reader because I just wasn't. And he's like,
Yeah.
well, you made yourself believe, Brittany, you
Yeah.
are a good reader. And I was
I
like,
love that you just said that because I got a book yesterday called Becoming Supernatural. And as soon as it got here, I was like, oh my gosh, that book's so big. I can't even read that. My old belief system just like kicked in. And I was like,
not weird.
girl, go look downstairs how many books you've read in the last 5 years. Calm down. You got this. Like, what are you doing? You're fine.
You
But
are
like,
fine. You are
so many years ago, I would have never believed that I could read a book. And look
right.
where I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
just start day one. Just start day one. Don't keep waiting for one day. Start day one today. And
Yeah.
even if this is another thing, I love this about my shift in beliefs. I used to be an all or nothing person, right? I either had to 100% do it right or I wasn't doing it at all. And I remember one day I was like, okay, I started on day one. And then I was on day 3. And guess what? I fell off. And then I had to restart on day 1. But guess what? If I have 70 day ones, I have 70 fucking days of success.
Yeah.
Who cares if you do day 1 100 freaking times? You're
Right.
doing 100 days of day 1.
It's the same philosophy as reading the same post-it note on your mirror that you're a fucking badass every single freaking day. Thank you. Until like those belief systems change
Yeah.
because certain belief systems, you can change pretty fast. Certain
Yeah.
ones take a long time. Just like when you got that book in the mail, you're like, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. That's my upper limit problem. Like clicking in and I got to fight that. And, remember that my belief system is here. It's
Yeah.
a soul. And
Exactly.
so those are amazing things. Those are
Yeah.
amazing things shared with, start with drinking water, start with your nutrition plan, every day, do something a little bit different. That might take you a couple weeks for that every day to become your lifestyle. I
Yeah.
love it.
Thank
So
you.
Nikki, like, what do you do today to help other people discover these things about themselves and to open them up into the new reality of being a free human being?
Well, a lot of things I do is about building community. So I always say this, you hurt in isolation, you heal in community.
Yeah.
Like you can have a self-love bucket. You can. It's freaking fantastic and it should be overflowing and growing, right?
Right.
Every day. But you also have friendship buckets and you have relationship buckets and you have these holes, and those holes can only get filled By safe containers, by putting that bucket into a new safe container that can hold those things, right? Or reassurance. So I create sacred spaces where people get to take their emotional armor off and know that their guilt and their shame is totally welcome here. It's not judged here, but on the transition of the guilt and shame, there's compassion, there's kindness, and there's growth, and there's learning. And I do that by allowing people to really truly come here, strip down all that armor and say, I'm still lovable, I'm still needed, I'm still wanted, I'm still valuable, I'm enough.
I'm enough. And
Yep.
when did you come to this realization that you had that gift? Like, what was it, something that happened to you where you're like, that's what I need to do. That's my calling. I want to help people love themselves and break free from all their beliefs that don't exist inside of them.
So, yes, it all started with a sticky note. It all started with me wanting to let people know that the world was a better place because they exist. I've lost a lot of people in my life to suicides, suicide attempts, drug overdoses, moms that have committed suicide, moms that have taken like crazy amounts of, pills thinking that they're going to be better. That was me. And it never got better. Like it just didn't. Right. And so when I was that mom that I was struggling and I didn't want to live anymore and I would pull around the side of the road, I decided to start serving and start spreading kindness and allowing people to know that they were loved no matter what. And I started writing "The world is a better place because you exist" on a sticky note and putting it on 3 cars. It was shortly after my sister's suicide attempt and treatment plan that I chose in to creating this change and really spreading this. And man, 5 years ago when I started this sticky note, it was just pink sticky note from the dollar store, write it on there, get it out, make myself feel better. I would say love and light and respect, and then move on with my day. Well, then one day I got caught doing them. Got caught. And it was transitional. It was scary. And I had never been seen doing them. So I broke down. I was like, I'm never doing that again. Right. And I always did it at the gym because that was my morning routine. Right. Get it done, do it at the gym. And like my day was served and I felt better. And it kind of pulled me out of anxiety, depression, anything like that. Right. And so I started doing that. And the next day at the gym, the front desk guy was like, "Oh my gosh, you saved a lady yesterday. She came running in here. She wanted to know who put that on her car. And she said that she was going home to kill herself. And you saved her." And her reaction was screaming, crying. Like it's going to make me cry. I remember just like walking to my car so fast. I was like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never causing somebody pain like that again. And then I got in my car and I was like, this is why you do it. You do it so that they have those moments that they still can hold on. They still come back for more. They still keep thriving. They still keep striving for more. And it really, like, from there, I was just like, okay, I'm going to tell people. And then 2 years ago, I stepped on stage and told my story, and it just like everybody in my life now, everybody in my tribe, they're like, the world's a better place because you exist. And they're sharing it and they're creating it. And it's really created this ripple effect of kindness. That's really what it came out to be, is this ripple effect of kindness. And there's been many times in my life where I'm like, I could hate you or I could be kind right now. Both are going to take about the same energy, but one is going to have an after effect and one is going to have a different after effect. Which effect am I going to choose into?
Right. That is so crazy. I mean, talk about also another example of your powerful energy. And also like a higher spirit, like God, like talking through you to that woman.
Yeah.
We have that power. We all have that power.
Oh, yeah.
And I do think that it takes a lot more energy to hate because it makes you sick, where it takes energy to love, but it's a positive effect to yourself and to others. And it does create a ripple effect of kindness. And, that I talk about this all day long, like love and kindness, love and kindness, love and kindness. I might sound like a freaking hippie saying that all the time, but like love is going to cure everybody. And if we can continue to be kind to ourselves, therefore we can be kind to others, we are going to make a huge and a bigger ripple effect for those around us and around them and around them and around them and around them, as long as we continue to share our
Yep.
stories, because we are relatable. We are showing that you're not alone in all these situations, and you can use us to have a sounding board, to like lean on us, and we can be there for you guys. Like, and that's the power of like what I'm trying to do, what you're trying to do. Because we
Yeah.
care.
And allow the lean in to happen. And that's the thing. I think I want to go back to what you just said about like the power within, to have divine guidance. Like that's all within all of us. But the thing is somewhere in our life we taught ourselves, or we took on the lens that we were untrustworthy, that we were not enough. And I want to help transition that lens to, no matter what you've done, you're enough now, right now. You don't have to be anything more than what you are right now. And
Right.
to hold space for that, it's a beautiful transition. The thing is people underestimate how being vulnerable and sharing yourself creates so much sacred space.
It really does.
Like it really is so cool. And I love that we're here to like make a difference together. Cause that's the thing. Like I, oh, it's gonna make me cry. Like I'm not in your guys's mastermind, but I had the opportunity to like go there, and I was so grateful. And I wasn't a closet weirdo anymore. And that like was the first time I said that out loud. Right. And
Right.
like, now I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you think I'm weird. I'm fucking weird and I like it. And I'm a medium and I'm a psychic and I can hold space for you and I can love you and I'm going to share kindness with you and I'm going to help you heal at a cellular level. So when your interaction is done with me, you are a changed being. You are a changed soul. You know that it's okay to be you.
That's so beautiful. My partner, Daniel, tells me all the time, he's like, you know what I love about you? And don't take this the wrong way. He's like, you're weird as fuck. I was like,
Yeah.
great. That's the nicest compliment I've ever got, because I do have these intuition. I have dreams about people. I have all this stuff come to me all the time, and I've accepted that. You know what I mean? I love that. I have such connections with people who have passed, through these spiritual connections and the divine spirit. And I think you have that power. And I think what's also so beautiful is I've interviewed so many people with different types of ways of therapy, different things that we can go through. Like Nikisha and I were at a women's event. We did breath work. I've never done anything like that before. And I was like, God damn, I came out a new woman. I knew I was enough. And it was a beautiful type of therapy, and everyone who has come on my channel, we're sharing tools for you that you don't have to talk to a specific therapist and take pharmaceutical drugs. Now, I'm not saying that they're bad. I know they're there for a reason and they should be. But there are other options out there to make you feel comfortable, what feels right inside for the type of therapy that you personally need, that's personal to you and only you.
Yep.
Exactly. And I love your energy so much. And I know that like you have the world at your fingertips to help all the individuals that come to you. And I really feel like even we're talking through a screen, but the power of energy goes through everything. And you feel that.
And energy is so contagious.
It really is, and that's what I felt when I met you. I was like, girl, that energy is powerful. And
we're best.
Yes. And I encourage you guys to reach out to her on Instagram, ask her questions, because when you have intuitive people in your life that really can break you and are great listeners, and they hear what you are saying, be around them more. Be around her. Ask her.
It's life-changing.
It really is.
Oh, thank you.
It really is.
Yes, please.
Your kids.
I would love to connect, and just really connection is the easiest way to get over hurt. Like we think that when we're hurting, we should just like clam up and just hide. But like, yes, we should for growth, but not if we're hurting to just hurt because we're afraid to be loved again.
Yeah.
Let us love you. Let us create space for you.
Absolutely. We're afraid to admit that we're scared and we're hurting because of our ego. And you got to let that go, man, because that's just going to sit with you, eat at you and eat at you and eat at you and eat at you until you think you're
Yeah. And like
not good.
when you let it go, you let yourself grow. Like, here we grow. Let's do this. Like,
That's fine. When you let it go, you let yourself grow.
yeah.
I love that. And so like, I don't know how much time we have. How much time do we have left? We're
Pretty time right now. Yeah.
I
It's
know this
okay.
was short, you guys, and maybe, someday we'll have her back on and we'll talk about more stuff. I mean, I'm sure I can talk to her all day.
Seriously.
Like I said, when I met her, she was like a beacon of light, and she shines her light extremely bright. And for those shining their light, it's like a bug, right? You want to attract yourself to these types of people because they are going to change you, and they're going to let you see yourself in the mirror in a different way. They're going to make you see that you are fucking beautiful the way you are, because you are so unique, because you're the only one that is you that exists on this entire planet.
Yes, exactly. And that we need you. We need your voice,
Yeah.
your light, your mess that you've turned into your message, and we need you.
Yeah. All of our
And that's
lives.
why the world is a better place, because you exists because I want everyone to know how needed, wanted, and desired they are.
Absolutely. And the brighter the lights we all shine, the brighter the light we're going to come together, and we're going to change the world.
We are changing the
Through
world.
your hearts, through your
Yes.
souls and your minds. And so I will put all the links about Nikisha's Instagram and what she does. Please feel free to reach out to her, ask as many questions as you want. Because I really feel like these people that have come into my life, that have come into the channel, have really made a difference and an impact on my life by just meeting them for like a day. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
like through a crowd of people. So imagine what you have one-on-one with all these people that I'm sharing with you. I'm giving you tools to help and not be afraid. So, and Nikisha, I'm so appreciative of your beautiful soul coming on here and your energy. And I'm so excited to share your story with the world. And we're going to make the world a better place. And don't be afraid to ask. We're here.
I love you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you. And I'm just so grateful to be here. And I want to ignite the fire within. So if any of you feel like you're dull or that your embers are just sitting stagnant, let me help you fan that flame to reignite so
Ooh,
you can shine bright.
absolutely. That gave me chills. Okay.
Ah,
So
cute.
much. I know you really do. So thank you so much. I wish
Thank
we had more
you.
time, but I think this is really impactful. So
Yeah.
again, reach out. Do not be afraid. We are here. We are not judgmental. We are here
No,
to love on you forever and ever and ever.
we are here, be here, and we want to grow with you. So let's create a community.
Absolutely. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Nikisha. We will talk to you again soon.
Okay, talk to you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.